Comments for the week ending December 4th from the beef farmers of Ontario. There were 426 head of fed steers and heifers sold through auction markets last week, up 112 head from the previous week. Fed steers averaged $290.12 per hundredweight, down $125 per hundred, and fed heifers averaged $288.94 per hundredweight, down $211 per hundred from the previous week's trade. Auction markets reported that fed steer heifers sold $1 to $3 per hundredweight stronger. In Ontario, late trade has been reported at $4.90 per hundredweight delivered. Cattle were being booked for 1 to 2 week delivery. For the week ending November 22nd, Eastern fed cattle and cow exports to the U.S. were 4,714 head, 10% above last year and 66% above the 5-year average. Year-to-date, Eastern fed cattle and cow exports were almost steady with last year. Whole cow receipts sold through auction markets last week were 2,766 head, up 2 head from the previous week. Cows averaged $162.55 per hundredweight, up 57 cents per hundred. Beef cows averaged $169.42 per hundredweight, down $196 per hundred from the previous week's trade. Auction markets reported the fed cows' prices. Total receipts were 9,447 head last week. Receipts of 4,491 stock and feeder cattle sold through Ontario auction markets, down 1,200 head from the previous week. Auction markets reported on Friday, November 28th, the calves sold $3 to $5 higher. Yearlings sold on an active trade at steady prices. By Thursday, calves sold stronger with great demand. The Quebec electronic market prices were not available at press time. Last week, Alberta fed steer and heifer prices closed the week at $285 and $282.87 per hundredweight respectively, down $9 per hundredweight from the previous week. Dressed sales were reported from $475 to $485 per hundredweight delivered, $10 to $15 per hundred lower than the previous week. Buying interest was noted from all 3 Western Canadian packers. Cattle that traded were scheduled for delivery for the second half of December to early January. By Wednesday, December 3rd, light trade developed, with dress sales reported from $485 to $490 per hundredweight delivered, $5 to $10 per hundredweight higher than the previous week. For the week ending November 22nd, Western Canadian fed processing was 38,348 head, down 8% from last year and the smallest weekly volume since 2016. Weekly processing has run below last year for 4 consecutive weeks. Volumes have been impacted by scheduled plant maintenance. Year-to-date, processing is down 8% from 2024 and has run below last year each month other than April. The U.S. cash cattle trade last week saw dress sales in Iowa and Nebraska reported from $340 to $345 per hundredweight, $15 per hundredweight higher than the previous week. Live sales in the north were from $220 to $225 per hundredweight, $10 to $15 per hundredweight higher. Live sales in Texas and Kansas were from $225 to $226 per hundredweight, $6 to $10 per hundredweight higher. Last week's cattle processing was estimated at 600,000 head. This is the 4th largest processing volume seen this year. Packer margins were positive, but with sharply higher cattle prices last week and lower wholesale beef prices, this will weigh on margins. This is Jamie Kerr for the Beef Farmers of Ontario, reporting for CanFax.